Sige, sige.
What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what is up? My name is JJT, Commish Eric. Daily quickie once again. Judgment Day, week 13. If in case you're wondering what the schedule for week 14 is, or what it looks like, we've uploaded the episode already for that. You can check that out on YouTube or on Spotify or wherever you watch or listen to your podcast. But I think it'd be best if you do it on YouTube and Spotify so that you'll be able to see some of the this presentation sounds too formal, but the graphics or at least the visuals as we talk about the schedule again. Commish,
Yes.
before I go to my thought, let's welcome Commish. Good week. Was it a good week for you?
No.
Overall.
Well,
Overall,
no. No, not a good week. A lot of my leagues today, last day, they were able to catch up on me. So, catch up to me. So, I lost a lot of 4-5s. So, that's the consolation. I have a lot of injuries, as you guys know. We keep on talking about it. So, when I get 4-5, I just take it as a win. And as long as I'm still in the top 8, that's all that matters right now. Trying to just stay within that top 8. That's just all that I really want to do, to still do. So that's what. So far, in our FBW leagues, I'm still there. So let's see. Next week is very, very different, as you know, with our schedule. So this could be good, could be bad. I don't know. Let's see.
I kind of feel like this week 14, for those on the edge or at least from the outside looking in, or from those trying to catch up for a playoff spot, this could be a make or break week for you. Because I see some of my teams, and I was talking to you yesterday about it. One of my team was now they my team was, sometime early in the season I was first. I was there at the top, and then slowly I moved down because of the injuries, because of a lot of things. I have Paul George there. I have Tyler Hero, who was out, right? I think I also have Bojan, who's now is out as well, and Kyle Lowry. So bunch of injuries there. So now I'm ninth currently. Before the weekend, I was actually seventh. Now I fell to ninth, and I was looking at that lineup, and I had a bunch of players from, Toronto, India, Detroit, Chicago. I have Levine, I think, there. Um, and I was thinking, what are my hopes for this week? Because if I lose big this week, I'm it's going to be hard to come back from that. I'm ninth. If I move to 11, 12, I don't know
The
what will happen.
the problem with this week is because usually we have we have weeks where we have a team with 2 games. Usually we have that. So if you have a player from that team, you can manage because you can just stream properly. This week there are 4 teams. That just makes it different. As I
Yeah.
said, it could be good and could be bad. If your opponent has 3 or 4 of those players like Jeremy, you can make up a lot of ground even if that team is strong. So you can make a 7-2 or an 8-1 in this week. It's very
Right?
possible. So it could be good. But if you're the team with that, with those players, then of course the opposite of it. So I've been telling Jeremy, sometimes when you look at it, there's just no way to stream 4 or 5 players spot. No, no matter how good you stream, unless you drop some good players, which I don't recommend. So maybe if you're in the same boat as Jeremy, try to try to just get a 3-6. That's just me. Again, you try to survive the week 3-6. After this week, there's still 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Just for FBW, that's 5 more weeks. Still doable, no? Still doable. But if you get an 1-8 this week or 2-7,
See, right?
not
Right?
not gonna be good.
This is a very crucial week, especially if you
Yeah.
have players from Chicago, Detroit, Orlando, and what's the other team? San Antonio,
Yeah.
right? So the team I was talking to you about, I have Zach Levine there. I have Wendell Carter. So Zach Levine only has one game today. That's a big one because Zach Levine's currently third round value.
Yeah,
at this
third
point,
round value.
right?
Yes.
Wendell Carter. I also have Trey Jones. So that's three
Yeah.
players already. And I have Bojan. Well, Bojan's a bit injured. And then I still have Paul George there who's injured and Kyle Lowry.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
really,
The
this could
for
be
me,
a very bad 1-8, 2-7 type of loss.
one thing though is that the good with these 4 teams, if you look at those 4 teams, it's really Chicago. It's really Chicago that gets hit the most because Vucevic today, as you can see, 43 points. I think 18 out of 21, 5 3-pointers. A great game, and he's top 25 this season in per game. I think totals. I think he's top 10 already. The quietly. No, so if you have that hurts. The Vucevic hurts, the Levine hurts, the DeRozan hurts. They're the top tier players. The other teams really don't have those players. That's the good thing. I mean, San Antonio, well, Trey Jones probably the best player there. So maybe you have your first rounder still. If you have the Spurs player, Orlando also, they don't really have a really
No,
top
but that's
player.
the thing. That's the thing. It's not about just one player, right? If you have Vucevic there, I
Mhm.
think you can still survive
Yeah,
the week, right? Even if he just plays one game, you can survive that week. But if you have a combination of these players, right, which is a more likely scenario, we have players from Chicago, from Detroit in one team, right? I know Detroit doesn't really have a big player, major fantasy player
yeah.
other than maybe Bojan. Bojan is probably their
And
best fantasy player in terms of certain categories. But if you have a combination of these, that's going to be a big challenge. But just
yeah, but
one
as you said,
player, I think you
Bojan
can
is out.
survive. Boja's out.
Bojan is out, right?
But if you have
So you
like,
can put him in your IL plus. You can put him in your IL plus.
yeah, but
So
if you
that
have,
helps. No.
yeah,
That would help.
I
That
know
would
what you
help.
mean. If you have other players who are, fringe streamer type of players keeping in your IL, you probably just drop them and just put Bojan
Yeah.
there just to survive the week.
Yes.
But
Yes. The thing though is with I've seen Isaiah Stewart being dropped in an 18 team league. He was dropped in an 18 and 16 team league. That's how
just this week,
managers that just yesterday, just the other day, I think maybe the manager is preparing for this week. They saw the schedule. They didn't like it, so they dropped Isaiah Stewart. So we're in that part of the season where managers are panicking a little bit or desperate. So I would think that if you're really clinging for dear life, you have to make decisions like that. For me, Killian Hayes probably, Bojan as you said, from Detroit, will probably be the guys I really won't drop. But the others is in conversation and
yeah.
in conversation. Chicago, the big three won't drop them, but outside of the big three,
Well, in Chicago, outside
everybody.
of the big three, there's really no one there worth
Well,
holding.
Caruso.
Seen lots
I
of
love Caruso.
Caruso.
I love what Caruso's been doing lately. Yeah, the steals, the blocks. He just can't get healthy. Just can't stay healthy. But especially when DeRozan out, he's been very very good. The steals, the assists. So I'm curious to see what he can do with DeRozan back. But the one game thing kind of is a bummer as we all know. But so outside of the big three in Chicago, nobody else. Orlando. Orlando is a tricky one. I mean, as I said, I dropped ball in
Actually,
some
yeah,
in some
Orlando's
leagues.
and today Ball played well,
Decent, but just
decent
18
enough.
minutes. Yeah, decent, but still 18
Got
minutes.
lucky. He got lucky today.
I posted that. I asked people what they think should they do with the ball? Because well, it's tough. This week will be tough for him. They have a 4-day break. Orlando is a very crucial one. They have a 4-day break.
They are a crucial one. Plus, their players are right there in the middle, right? You have the Chicago guys, the top three Chicago players, and then you have the Detroit players, where pretty much almost everyone's you can already drop, right? If in case you really need the body. And then there's Orlando in the middle, wherein everyone's like, yeah, Markel Fultz, not the top level yet, but not really bad, right? He played well again today.
Yes.
Wendell Carter, obviously, you won't drop him. Ball, like you said. So they're somewhere in the middle, right? Makes you think.
Yeah. I would drop ball. I will still drop ball. Wendell, Fultz, I would keep. I would hold France, of course, and Banquero. France and Banquero is not really, you don't have to think about that. Outside of that, I will drop everything. San Antonio's in the same boat. Though it's easier with San Antonio because for me, Potel, and probably this guy, Trey Jones, Keldon, that's just a 3. Sohan is a drop. Everybody else is a drop. Actually, Vassell, for me, is a drop. If you're still holding on to Vassell at this point and you have a lot of other
I don't see
players
Vassell.
who have 1 game or 2 games, maybe you just drop him.
I don't see Vassell in the waiver wire.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I think you can drop Vassell for me.
But
at this point, he's
at
still
least Vassell is IL eligible.
But 4 weeks away. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you have Bojan, for instance, you just put Bojan there and then drop Vassell instead. You just have to make those decisions at this point. I have Vassell. I still hold Vassell in my IL in 1 league. But there are a couple of injured players coming up, like Miles Turner is still questionable. We have a lot of injuries, actually. So maybe Vassell, it's time to, cut bait. Just drop him. Just drop him at this point.
Yeah.
There, for week 14. And, well, I don't know when this will be released, but the games tomorrow is another something else, right? 1 a.m. start. So
it's not
lots of
there's that happens once a year, every year.
Yeah.
Right. So by the time we wake up tomorrow, there'll probably be just 1 more game left, or at least some of the games are still ongoing.
Yes.
Already, maybe second half already of the game. All right, so that's week 14. Plan ahead. It's really going to be a big week. Hopefully, you have more teams in case you are playing in multiple leagues like we do. You have more teams who have lesser of those players, and because sometimes they cancel each other out. Like I was talking to Commish about 116 team league wherein I was 14th, and then now I'm actually right there, 12th, 10th, I think. Starting to move up, and then my opponent has some players from those teams coming in, so I get lucky with that draw. I might hopefully win 6-3, 7-2. That pushes me up to the playoff position. So you take the good with the bad. Yes, you take the bad with the good. What should we talk about? Commish wants to talk about some possible breakout players for the second half. Are these, not all of these are luxury stashes, but some are, but the others are already rosterable.
Already rostered. Majority of them are rostered. I just feel like some of them maybe you can target a bit in trades. No, there are more, but maybe we can talk a little bit about the younger ones. Ones today.
But if I look at the list, well, we only listed down 5. Commish only gave 5 names. But if you look at the list, all right. So the first one is Jalen McDaniels. He is rostered.
Mostly. Yeah, he's rostered.
Right.
He's rostered.
Just because Gordon Hayward's still not there.
Yeah.
And we don't know whether Gordon Hayward is still coming back, but yeah. Jalen McDaniels is the first one.
Yeah, I feel like the Hornets are somewhere close to the situation where it's point of no return already for this season. That's one. Kelly Oubre, we know, is still out for a couple of weeks. I don't know when
Maybe
he will come back.
3 weeks,
3
right?
or 4 weeks. I just feel like by the time playoffs come, McDaniels would be a bigger part of their team more than now. I mean, I don't know what happens to Rozier. I don't know what happens to Plumlee. McDaniels has shown that he has the ability to rack up stats like Jaden, but score better. He's better offensive player.
Yeah.
Jaden is still a better stocks guy, the steals and everything. But McDaniels can do that too. Not as good as Jaden, but the scoring is way ahead of Jaden. So for me, I've seen Jalen being traded around. A lot of people have been asking me about Jalen in trades. So I think if you can add him in a package, like just as a throwaway, as a throw in, that would be okay. The other manager might not think much about it, but eventually, come playoff time, it might pay off for you. Jalen McDaniels. He's not
So
a rookie, not a sophomore, but somebody that, because of the team situation, can be a better hold now than, let's say, Mark Williams from Charlotte, because just can't you can't hold him right now. You just have to time it properly when he'll be unleashed.
we talked about Mark Williams being a luxury stash
Yeah,
with an easier path to minutes. The other player, and we talked about Mark Williams together with this guy, Barry Eason.
Harry Eason. Yeah,
Another, this guy, unlike Jalen, is probably a more luxury stash at this point, right? Because I've seen lots of leagues where Tyree Eason is still there. Maybe some leagues he's being streamed, just being streamed, but most of the leagues he's just lying around there in the waiver wire.
the thing though today, Jalen Green was suspended, right? KPJ is injured. Jason Tate was suspended. So Tyree Eason still got 18 minutes. The same thing. They started KJ Martin, Eric Gordon, and all those stuff. But he played well. He had 3 steals, 1 block, or whatever. But Tyree Eason's fantasy skill set is just something else. Just different. He can shoot the threes, he can steal. He doesn't get the minutes yet. But today was kind of a preview of what can happen when players get traded. Eric Gordon, I really doubt will stay with Houston by trade deadline. I also doubt KJ Martin will be still there by trade deadline, because these two guys have been very popular with the trades, and the Rockets will just get draft picks in return. So Eason, well, Sengun, I would have said Sengun, but Jeremy's tired of me talking about Sengun. But Sengun is one, Eason is the other one. Actually,
You
we could
know,
talk about Jabari as a third one also. Houston is in the same boat as Charlotte. Um, it's gonna be tanking, whatever. It's gonna be all youngsters come second half of the season.
well, unlike Houston though, Charlotte doesn't have those fantasy friendly
Yeah,
players, right? Even Mark Williams, if you talk about Mark Williams, the upside may just be what Jalen Duran is doing.
yeah, that's not bad, but
Not
not
bad,
as
but not the Jabari Smith that the Tyree Eason potentials.
I think. Yes, I agree. Jabari Smith, for me, can be a buy low right now. For me, if you're punting field goals already, especially if you're punting field goals already, someone you can already consider. Like if you have, I don't know, many terrible field goal shooters, you always lose every week in field goal. You can get him for cheap. Get him. But if you're strong in field goal, think about it, because he's really very
Well, it depends
scary
how
player to own.
strong you are in field goal. I have a team with Jabari Smith, but that's with KD, that's with
Oh yeah, yeah,
Gobert. So that works for me. That worked for me because until KD went down, the field goal was really good. But going back to Eason, there's just like you said today, just 18 minutes. A lot of the players out. Doubt. I just have this doubt that this year might not be his year. I just feel like it might be that similar path as the Sengun path.
yeah,
You've been
yeah.
waiting for it for the whole year, right? I just don't think it's the time yet for Eason. Because who's in front of him? Jabari.
Well, he actually plays some
Is
small forward for them. Jabari plays
power.
power, plays more of the four spot. Eason today, he just really needs 20 minutes. To be honest, he just needs 20 minutes to be holdable in 14 team leagues. The problem is he was not getting there when Jason Tate came back. He was down to 12, 13 minutes. That's why I feel like he's a safe one for me. I know Sengun, people may think Sengun, but I just feel like Eason's more ready right now to contribute. He won't hurt the Rockets as much. He's more experienced than Sengun. That's Sengun was the MVP in the Turkish league, but still Eason has played a lot in college also. So yeah, I just feel like, as you said, you were thinking about what's the pathway. Eric Gordon, KJ Martin. I just feel like these two will be gone soon. Those are the two that I'm targeting that will be gone soon. That's why I also have Jabari in the list, as we said. It's number 3 in the list.
All right. So another rookie, Jalen Williams, is also in the list. Rostered already.
Rostered already.
Has actually been good in a lot of games already. Kind of consistent as well. I mean, he's not really bad. At least at every game, at least he gets around 12, 13 points, which, if he doesn't contribute in the other categories, at least that salvages his stat line, right? You don't want, rookies that give you
Yeah.
what 7, 8 points, just 7, 8 points, right? So, but Jalen Williams, I don't see him in any of the waiver. Should be
Well,
rostered. He's starting as well, so that
he's
helps.
starting. He's getting 33, 34 minutes, but today was 0 out of 9. That's why it's funny I put him here today. I did mention him in my quick notes. He was 0 out of 9. Was one of his worst games. So I was saying, if you can maybe use today's game as a way to get him from his managers, try to get him again. If I'm confident about Eason, I'm more confident. If there's a little doubt with Eason, I get that. But with Jalen Williams, I have no doubt. Just, I mean, even if they don't tank, even if SGA and Giddy plays throughout the rest of the season, he's already top 120. But what are the chances that SGA and Giddy, plays through the season? There's still that part of us that they might still rest them, or do the OKC Sam Presti thing. And when that happens, I mean, it's all Jalen Williams, and he has shown that he can carry this team. He can produce. I mean, he scores in the 20s. He has steals. He has assists. He has rebounds. He does everything.
He's
So
actually, he's more efficient than I thought.
yes,
The
yes,
0 out of 9
that's
today is not the usual line or the field goal that he has. What's his average field goal?
50% 50% field goal shooting.
He's
It's the
more
free throws that are bad. It's the free throws that are
yeah.
bad. The free throws are 73, 74, but that's on 2 attempts,
But
2 to 3 attempts. So that's still,
yeah, but that's
okay.
okay. That's okay. That's okay. I just feel like, when you look at the way he plays or moves, you feel like, he might not be as good of a field goal percent. The field goal percentage might not be as good, but surprisingly, it's been really good.
And this guy,
and that's the challenge.
If we talk about
if he has bigger role, that might drop a lot.
Not a lot. I don't think a lot, because his college stats actually showed that he was efficient enough. And this is not surprising, because Jalen showed this in college. He's not a freshman. He's not a sophomore. He paid his dues in college in a small university. So he has shown he can carry. He's a jack of all trades kind of guy. Can go to the rim. He can shoot. So Jalen is very safe. Actually, I did not put Jaden Ivey there. I just put him there a little bit. I forgot. He's one of the players again. I think this is about the time that a rookie guard steps up. No? Jalen Green, Anthony Edwards.
What else will he do? Jaden Ivey's already.
Jaden Ivey, I put him here. You know, I'm critical of Jaden Ivey. I've told you 1,000
Yeah,
times.
that's why it's
You know,
surprising that
yeah. But my point here with Jaden Ivey is probably very cheap. Probably, I'm just saying. I'm not sure how the managers value him in your leagues, but with the way he's shooting, you know, he's not shooting that well. He's not playing that. He's not efficient. You know, maybe he can get him for cheap. But for me, rookie guards, by the time it's February, there is just a little switch that, you know, they start to play better. I won't say he's gonna be as good as Anthony Edwards and Jalen Green, but I feel like he can help, especially with the talks about Bojan getting traded to the Lakers and all those stuff. I mean, added points, added usage, you know, then if you can get him for cheap, I'm just putting it out there. If you can get him for cheap, but if you have to pay a lot to get him, maybe not. No, maybe not. If you have to pay a lot, but if it's cheap, you know, maybe you can consider him.
Right. The last player we want to talk about is Scotty Barnes. I'm not sure why Scotty Barnes. Well, why Commish feels that Scotty Barnes is out on the breakout. But interestingly, I have a league where Scotty Barnes is just being traded right now, and the value he got was I don't know if it's even fair or what, but it was just Kyle Kuzma.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making here. As Scotty Barnes is being traded for way players whose draft stock or value should be way lower, and he's not performed well this year.
Yeah,
but he is the safest guy there in Toronto. I don't think he's gonna get traded. And so far, from all the things we have heard, the Raptors are gonna make a move. You know, they're gonna make a move. Someone's gonna move. Someone's gonna get traded. Whether it's Van Vliet, whether it's Trent, whether
and
even it's Siakam or whatever.
They have really good pieces.
They have good pieces, and they're gonna make a move. And Scotty, for me, is gonna stay, and he's gonna be a big part of that second half of Toronto. So again, don't quote me on this, but you know, if you guys want to listen or not, or believe it or not, I feel like if you can get Scotty for Kuzma, that could be a big factor for your championship run if you make the playoffs in your fantasy.
Of course, there's that disclaimer as well. If you make the playoffs, and usually moves like this are sometimes for those who have the luxury of doing it, like if you're top 4, maybe top 5, it's easier for you to maneuver and make trades. Or, you know, the other side of it, if you're like from the outside looking in and you have a slimmer chance of making the playoffs, you know, some major moves are you know, that's when it's easier to pull the trigger as well, because you know what the heck, right? What else can go wrong if I'm 10th and I'm 7 games? You know, 7 games is still possible, right? If you're like 7, 8 games behind, hard but possible. Like, you know, if you get a matchup like for week 14 we're talking about, and then that's a matchup against the 8th seed, for example, right? And you win a 7-2 matchup, that's already 5 wins or 5 categories down. So you go down, you move up by a lot already with that. So I still feel if you are down 7, 8 games behind, still possible, though harder. Of course, you need to really win those harder ones, or maybe consecutive 6-3s, right? But still, that's the 7-2s and the 8-1s. That's what you really want to hope for if you want to make a good run. All right, that's it for today's. We said it's going to be short, but it's still within our normal 30-minute time frame. Hope that helped, and hope you enjoyed the discussion as well. Please subscribe, guys. Follow us in our socials, and hopefully we get to help you out in your fantasy teams as well. All right, that's it. See you guys again tomorrow. Bye.